Wanstead Flats has been open land for many centuries and grazed on by local farmers since for hundreds of years. And in fact it was the controversy over the attempt to enclose Wanstead Flats in the 19th century by a major local landowner that was the origin of the campaign which ended with the Epping Forest Act and the acquisition of the whole forest by the Corporation of London. In the post-war period, local councils had grandiose schemes to build, first of all to build schools and then to build a whole estate of housing across one part of the flats. And that invoked a huge local campaign. Signatures were collected by the thousand, a petition was drawn up, there were local committees formed. In fact, it made national news. It was in all the national newspapers. And the government was holding out for building houses to house people, very rightly wanting to house people who'd been bombed out of the East End. But even those communities said they wanted to keep the flats. They wanted to keep this area which was very precious to them.
It was a challenge, especially because when someone says, it's a dust bowl, you never make anything there. And I proved that you could. And it took time, through care, cutting, treating, and I liked it. It was an achievement.
How important was the playing field? What sort of people used it?
It was everything for the community, because clubs was delighted. They used everywhere, all over the flats. We was full there, absolutely full.
Today, Wanstead Flats playing fields is a really important place in the East London area. With 64 football pitches, it provides a unique sporting facility for people to use. There's countless people come here every weekend during the football season from September to April, and with playing fields disappearing across the country, it really is a special place.
Because we're stood here, aren't we, not far really from the centre of London, and yet you've got this huge space. It's a real asset, isn't it?
It is a real asset, and it's only 3.5 miles from the Olympic site for 2012.
It's a great facility, and it sits on the edge of East London and Essex. So, you know, you have teams which we have in our league, which is the East London and Essex League. You have a pool from East London and you have a pool from Essex. So you get a culmination of both sets of teams. It's a facility which, you know, the young people which we have in the league from, you know, 7 years old through to 16 come here, and their parents have played over here previously, or their grandparents even come over and say, I remember when I used to play over at Wanstead Flats. You know, so it's, the history of the ground is very important, and I think as them young people get older, they will remember it, and when they drive past here, when they're older, telling their son or their daughter that that's where I used to play when I was a youngster.
We're drawing today. It's the last game in the league this season, but we've already been champions. I just hear the noise behind me. Obviously they've scored now, so we're losing now at the moment. So, but it doesn't matter. It's just for the kids them to have fun, and we're champions already, and it's the last game. So we give the opportunity to some of the kids them that basically didn't actually participate that often during the course of the season, for them to be actually say having a game today.
It's good because it's fun and it's good for like getting fit and stuff.
Last year I was with this team and I don't want to leave it really, because it's like really good and the team's gelled together really good.
Very important to the kids, we as a dad, to come out here in the morning time to, you know, watch them run around, get them out of trouble. So it's very important to the kids. My boy, it's very special. I have to make it like Saturday evening and Sunday morning first thing. Although I have other things to do, but I have to put other things aside and get on with this.
West Ham's used to train round here. I've seen Tottenham players run round here. I've seen we had boxers who used to run the circuit here quite regularly actually over the years. When I first started here, we had the markets, used to play football Thursday afternoons. Stock Exchange used to book one Saturday a year for a tournament, but they was regular users of the playing fields. Loads of schools used to put all their summer sports facilities out. They used it throughout the year. Yes, it was very busy, buzzing all the time. I mean, the football pitches were worn out from end to end because they were so heavily used.
In this part of the world, an open space of this size, it's colossal, isn't it? Is obviously very, very important indeed. It's surrounded by a thickly populated area, so it's extremely important. And it's an added bonus that you can have games as well.
That goes back over a long time, doesn't it? There's a rich history of this being a community space.
It goes back to the Epping Forest Act of 1878, yes, when Epping Forest was dedicated to the people under the ownership and control of the city corporation.
As far as this space is concerned, it's surrounded by buildings. Some people might think, well, you know, there's always a danger it could disappear, it could get built on. How well preserved is it?
I should think it's as preserved as well as it possibly could be. The Epping Forest Act of 1878 just does not allow that sort of thing to happen.
Those that went before us had the foresight to invest in Wanstead Flats playing fields, and that's been going strong for over 50 years. We as the Conservatives of Epping Forest want to continue that really good work, and to that end we've doubled the number of ground staff in the last 2 years. We've got a major funding project going through to improve all the changing rooms across the 3 sites. We've also given a lot of time to the community and made Wanstead Flats accessible to the community, and to that end we're really proud of the investment we're making.
And that's about keeping alive the rich history.
It certainly is. It's about keeping sports in the community for the community that's been happening on Wanstead Flats for over 50 years.